After 4 successful editions, we are thrilled to be back in the capital of martial arts for ADXC 5. "15 nationalities, 10 languages, 5 continents.
Wow, look at that!
All uniting in the ADXC Octagon on August 2nd, 2024.
Well, good afternoon, Your Excellencies.
مرحبا بكم أصحاب السعادة، ضيوفنا الكرام، سيداتي وسادتي،
Jiu-Jitsu fans around the world.
الإعلام وجماهير الجوجيتسو الذي يتابعوننا عبر البث المباشر من كافة أنحاء العالم. مرحبا بكم إلى بطولة أبو ظبي إكستريم 5. اليوم سنلتقي الرياضيين نجومنا الذين سيدخلون الحلبة يوم مساء الجمعة. لذا فنرحب بكم من معنا هنا وجميع من يشاهدنا عبر شاشات التلفاز. بعد دقائق قليلة سندعو الرياضيين ليعتلوا منصة المسرح لتطرحوا عليهم الأسئلة حول هذه الفعالية الكبرى. ولكن أولا دعونا نتحدث قليلا حول ال ADXC 5 والذي سيحصل يوم 2 أغسطس، والذي نأمل بأن نشارككم جميع تفاصيل هذا الحدث الذي سيكون أفضل من سابقاته اليوم. نحن في العاصمة أبو ظبي التي تعتبر هي قلب المصارعة والاشتباك، ومنذ يناير هذه السنة نحن بطولة أبو ظبي إكستريم بدأت قبل أقل من سنة، وأول فعاليتين حصلتا هنا في مبادلة في مدينة زايد الرياضية، وأيضا استضفنا فعاليات في البرازيل وباريس التي بالطبع هي تستضيف الألعاب الأولمبية الآن. لذا وبعد نقل فعالياتنا إلى قارات مختلفة، 3 قارات الآن، حان الأوان لنعود إلى أبو ظبي من حيث بدأ الأمر. هناك كثير ما هو حاصل في هذا الأسبوع، ولكن دعونا نتحدث عن الجوجيتسو. لأكثر من عقد كانت أبو ظبي هي رائدة عالميا في استضافة فعاليات الجوجيتسو وفعاليات الاشتباك والمصارعة، وأصبحت الإمارات العربية المتحدة أول دولة في العالم أدخلت الجوجيتسو إلى النظام المنهج المدرسي، حيث بات الطلاب يتعلمون الجوجيتسو كجزء من منهجهم التعليمي. ما الذي أود إيصاله هو أن أبو ظبي شغوفة بالأمر كما سترون، ونود مشاركتكم هذا الشغف مع مجتمع الفنون القتالية العالمي. فأحد أفضل الفعاليات للجوجيتسو والمصارعة ADXC 5 في يوم الجمعة سيكون عندنا متسابقون من أكثر من 15 جنسية مختلفة تغطيها International Vision Management مع شريكنا AGP Tour والمروجون Catcher Communications وغيرهم. وإمكانكم متابعة الفعالية على ADXC.com ADXC.com. لذا وبإمكانكم الولوج إلى الموقع إذا ما أردتم معرفة المزيد. والآن سأقدم لكم الرياضيين رجاء انضموا معي بالترحيب والتقدير بأول المقاتلين ليعتلي المسرح. رجاء رحبوا بيورايا فيبر. وخصمه في الفعالية الرئيسية بيبيانو فرنانديز.
next main event match, a jiu-jitsu match. Goes to the stage, please welcome Hiron Gracie.
المسابقة الثانية أول متنافسيها غريسي. رايرون غريسي.
And the next competitor to come to the
ومنافسه
stage,
التالي
welcome Marcos
أو المنافس
Arrozinho.
التالي ماركوس كاروزينو.
And now our co-main event matches. We have, first of all, Chad Mendes. And next to the stage, please welcome Diego Branda. Our next main event match is Jiu-Jitsu match. First, please welcome Pedro Ramalho. And to round out the co-main event, our last competitor, but not least, please welcome Max Lindblad. Well, we will talk to our competitors in just a moment, but before we do, I would like to introduce our special guest. Please welcome to the stage the General Manager of IDSN, International Vision Sports Management, the organization behind this event and others around the world, Mr. Tarek Al-Bari.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أصحاب السعادة، السيدات والسادة، ممثلين وسائل الإعلام، حضورنا الكريم، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أرحب بكم جميعا في أبو ظبي عاصمة الفنون القتالية والجوجيتسو في مؤتمر الخاص النسخة الخامسة من بطولة أبو ظبي إكستريم. أود أن أبدأ هذا المؤتمر بالشكر الجزيل للداعم الأول لرياضة الجوجيتسو ولاعبيها المحليين والعالميين، سيدي صاحب السمو الشيخ محمد بن زايد آل نهيان رئيس الدولة حفظه الله، وإلى سمو الشيخ خالد بن محمد بن زايد آل نهيان ولي عهد أبو ظبي رئيس المجلس التنفيذي لإمارة أبو ظبي على جهوده الحقيقة وتطوير هذه الرياضة، وانطلاقا من رؤية قيادة رشيدة لدولة الإمارات في نشر الرياضة ودعمها تأتي النسخة الخامسة من بطولة أبو ظبي إكستريم، يؤكد على مكانتها كمنصة عالمية رياضية مبتكرة. نحن ملتزمون بمواصلة النجاح والتفوق الذي حققناه ومستمرون بأجندة حافلة بالبطولات في الإمارات وحول العالم. وكما أعلنا سابقا فإن النسخة السادسة من بطولة ستكون في أبو ظبي أيضا خلال أسبوع التحدي، وبالتحديد في 15 من أكتوبر القادم. شكرا لكم جميعا على حضوركم ودعمكم. نتطلع الى المنافسه القويه الحاسمه كما كان العهد دائما من ابو ظبي الى العالم، ونتمنى لكل اللاعبين النجاح والتفوق. والى جمهورنا الكريم نعدكم كالعاده بتجربه لا مثيل لها من الحماس والاثاره. لكم جميعا خالص الاحترام والتقدير، والسلام عليكم ورحمه الله.
Thank you, Mr. Al-Bari, for your inspiring words. So I'll start off next with a formal introduction of each of the competitors. We have 8 of them on the stage, representing seven different countries, I believe. And I'll start off, of course, with the main event. After I've got through the introductions, I'll open it up to questions for the media and fans. So first of all, I'm going to introduce a UFC Hall of Famer, a true pioneer in the lighter weight classes, and Uriah Faber rose to the top of the MMA world via his dominating reign as the WEC featherweight champion, moving on to a series of electrifying fights in a long UFC career as well. He's consistently delivered unforgettable performances, winning the respect of fans and fighters alike. After 46 MMA fights, Faber has hung up his gloves, but he has remained active in grappling matches since then, most recently winning a combat jiu-jitsu match via submission against the highly regarded black belt Jeff Glover, and it is our honor to have him as one half of our grappling main event. I welcome Uriah Faber.
Thank you everybody for having me. I'm excited to be here. You know, it's an honor. I've been to Abu Dhabi as a spectator, and what the country has done to support Jiu-Jitsu and implement it in its daily life is amazing. I think it's you know, something that the rest of the world can learn from, and you know, I'm excited to showcase my skill set. You know, I'm fighting a former competitor of mine from 18 years in the past, someone that I respect a lot, and I'm excited to, you know, test myself, you know, almost 2 decades later, against somebody that has grown as a person, as an athlete, and as a jiu-jitsu player himself, and made the best man win.
So I like to call Manaus the Dagestan of Brazil, because it's where the toughest champions from Brazil come from, not just grappling, but also MMA. There's definitely something in the water in Manaus, and it's also one of the few places in the world that feels as hot as Abu Dhabi. So a 3-time world champion in Jiu-Jitsu, a former 2-time one championship world champion, Viviano Fernandes is from Manaus, and he is exactly one of those guys. Now he's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu with an impressive record of 24-6. And regarding his title run in one championship, he also holds the record for the most title fight wins and is tied for the most consecutive title defenses. As we said, an extensive MMA career, but his roots did begin, they go all the way back to Jiu-Jitsu, as many MMA fighters share, from Brazil, now living in Canada, and grappling for us here in Abu Dhabi. Please welcome Viviano Fernandes.
Just want to say thank you everybody for coming here today, and ADXC making this show happening. Raja, thank you one more time for after one that face again. And I fight in favor at the beginning for my career in MMA. Was my first fight. And my friend from Living Vegas, they said, "Vivian, you want to fight favor?" And at the time I was doing jiu-jitsu, and I said, "Yeah, for sure, I'll try MMA." When I would check favor, he had 75. I said, "Well, okay, that's an amazing face this guy." And the water way I fight favor, and then I fight Yamamoto. This guy is the best at the time in there. Thank you for the opportunity. That opportunity I have, make me who I am today, make me push, make me do better. And take one more time, and go back for Jiu-Jitsu. Jiu-Jitsu changed my life. Jiu-Jitsu, I go to Brazil in the Amazon, and the heat is so hot, like this place here. I think it's the same exactly. We have to train, no air conditioning, no nothing. We have to go train in Jiu-Jitsu in the Amazon there, in Manaus. But the thing about Jiu-Jitsu, Jiu-Jitsu changed my life. What happened is, I'll go back, I have a couple minutes here. And Jiu-Jitsu changed my life because in the time there, I lost my mother. And when I went to Jiu-Jitsu, I put the gi. And I have so much pressure because I don't know what's going on about life doing at the time. And the moment I take the gi off, and I feel so light. And I said, that day one, I said, you know what, I will never, ever will change take off my gi. And I do Jiu-Jitsu for 2 years, Jiu-Jitsu changed my life. And I believe Jiu-Jitsu can change your life for many people. Jiu-Jitsu is something, it's very special. And thank you everybody for having me. I feel coming here, I feel home. Thank you.
So, Hiram Gracie is an ADXC veteran, having won his debut at ADXC 3 in Brazil by submission, thrilling match, 4th round submission, absolutely incredible match. definitely recommend you go back and check out the replay. One of the best matches that we've seen here on ADXC. And he's, of course, back here at ADXC 5. And born in Rio de Janeiro, you might recognize his last name. He is a representative of the most famous family in Jiu-Jitsu, in all of martial arts, I would actually say. And this has given him an opportunity to train extensively with some of the best names in the game. Enzo Gracie, Roger Gracie, Kira Gracie, many, many others. But forget the name for a minute, because he's only 22. Hiram is creating his own legacy in the sport of Jiu-Jitsu. Maybe one day MMA too. But let's welcome back to ADXC, Hiram Gracie.
Thanks everyone. Thank you for the kind words, and I'm happy to be back at ADXC. Very good seats among these two legends, and I'm very happy. Abu Dhabi, the UAE, has welcomed Jiu-Jitsu in Brazil with open arms. There's no other place on earth that has welcomed as they did, and I'm very thankful. And just before we begin, I just want to thank the royal family and my uncle Enzo, who planted this seed here many, many years ago. Today we're enjoying the shadow and we're enjoying the fruits of this beautiful tree. We gotta thank who planted the seed. So thank you guys for having me and thank everything.
So an up-and-coming black belt, he is the top-ranked light heavyweight in the AJP Tour global ranking. Now, Marcos Tarazinho will look to make his mark here. First time on ADXC, competing in the main event. No pressure there. But he does have a lot of experience competing on the world stage. He is a three-time AJP Grand Slam champion at 94 kilograms, winning gold medals in Istanbul, Rio de Janeiro, and here in Abu Dhabi. Representing GF team, please welcome Marcos Tarazinho.
Hello everyone. It's a pleasure to be here beside those legends. I'm very happy to be fighting ADXC 5. I've been here before, I've been 5 times here. Having won big titles here, I get podium. I'm well prepared for this fight, and thank you so much.
So those are our 2 main event matches, one Jiu-Jitsu, one grappling. And now our first co-main match. This is a grappling match, no gi. So known for his explosive athleticism and determination, Chad Mendes is a force to be reckoned with. Now, he rose to the top of the MMA world and was a 3-time challenger for the UFC Featherweight Championship. And he has an extensive grappling background of his own. While representing the Cal Poly Mustangs, he became a 2-time NCAA Division I All-American wrestler, which is no joke. That is a very impressive title to hold. He'll bring that tenacity and that wrestling pedigree to the cage on Friday night. Please welcome Chad Mendes.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming out here. And this is something I've dreamt about coming and doing, being in Abu Dhabi and competing here for a long time. I know the UFC comes out here quite a bit, so this is my first time making the trip out, so thank you guys for having us. I'm extremely excited to step back into my world. I've been wrestling and grappling since age 5. Last few years, though, I've kind of stepped away from that, really focused on the bare knuckle boxing and put a lot of effort into the boxing side of it. So I was craving this. I was missing this. Was just telling a buddy the other day, man, I miss the flow of jits and just the wrestling flow of takedowns on the feet. And it feels good to be home. So thank you guys for having me again, and I'm excited to compete. Let's do this.
So, a Brazilian mixed martial artist who made his name competing in the lightweight division, Diego Brandão, hails from Fortaleza, Ceará, and he's now based in the USA. And we have to give him props because he did take this match on relatively short notice as well, and stepped in as a replacement. But he's no stranger to the big stage. With 51 career MMA fights, he's competed all over the world. Europe, Asia, North and South America. Now, he'll compete here in Abu Dhabi in his ADXC debut. Please welcome Diego Brandão.
Hi guys. Today, and hello guys. Thank you for everybody to coming today. Also, I want to thank you for the opportunity to come, and also thank you for showing up today. Let's go to another challenge. I born in Brazil. I love to fight. MMA is becoming my passion after my father passed away in Brazil. Since I was 14 years old, I fight all over the world. Like, see Chad Mendes on skate, fighting ADXC, Ryan Faber, those guys. Like, I want to be one of those guys one day. Today is a dream coming true. Share this event, this amazing place in Dubai with those legends. I'm super excited, pumped for this fight. And I want to say thank you everybody for coming to support us. Thank you.
So that, of course, is a grappling match. And then our final co-main match is a jiu-jitsu match. And we have two very exciting competitors. First of all, from Portugal, Pedro Ramalho is known as one of Europe's top black belts. And a distinction he earns not just through his technique, but by becoming the Abu Dhabi World Pro Champion in the 77 kilogram division, right here in this arena in 2023. I'm certain that he'll hope that this run of success continues on Friday night. Please welcome Pedro Ramalho.
Hey guys, so first of all, thank you for having me, and I want to pick what Daniel was saying. So I started doing Jiu-Jitsu in 2009, where the first edition of the World Pro happened, and so I grew in Jiu-Jitsu at the same time that the Arab Federation was working, and it's a big difference from 2009 until now. And at the time, I already wanted to be a jiu-jitsu fighter. I wanted it to be my life, and at the time it was hard. So I want to thank everyone here and for making the sport so professional. You know, just to be here, it's a kid's dream to be invited to an event as great as professional as this. It's something that I always dreamed of, and so yeah, just to be here, it's like my kid's dream, and a grown man's dream is to beat Max on Friday. So yeah, thank you for everything, and thank you for having me.
So another top European competitor, Max Lindblad, is a very familiar face to anybody who follows the competition scene. I think we can describe him as prolific because he's medaled at AJP Grand Slam events all over the world, including Tokyo, Abu Dhabi, and London, where he twice took the gold medal. From Sweden and representing Checkmat team, please welcome Max Lindblad.
Hello, good. Hope you're as excited as I am to be here. Thank you for putting on this fight. We've been trying to do it for 1 year. Unfortunately, Pedro injured his knee, and then I injured my knee. So, great that we're finally here. Looking forward to Friday to put on my show.
So now the introductions are complete, we're ready to take your questions. Media and fans, please feel free to raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question. We have microphones circulating, so please wait for your turn. But members of the media, please identify yourselves when asking questions, just so we know who we're talking to. And we also welcome questions submitted online through our social media platforms. Also, any questions for Mr. Alvarez?
We are all tight and we are all out, and we are drive. Questions for Uriah and Chad. There's 3 schools of grappling, and the Dastani wrestling, of course, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and you guys are representing the American wrestling aspect. Do you think it weighs heavily on your shoulders to win these fights, being here in Abu Dhabi, the capital of grappling in the world?
I try not to have anything be too heavy for me. I'm a California guy. Just try to chill out mostly. But, I like to win. I like to compete. This for me is a fun game that is my favorite way to work out. It's made me a lot of money. I've got a lot of submissions in my career. I think 17 as a professional. It's part of my DNA really. And from the wrestling aspect, I've always loved to represent wrestling. I stepped in, I was talking to Viviana earlier about stepping into the ADCCs in 2005. I saw there was $10,000 on the line. I wrote an email to somebody. It was like, hey, I want to do this. And I told my coach, Cassio Wernick at the time, I said, hey, I think I'm going to do that ADCC thing. And he's like, oh, they can't do that, you can't do that. I can't even do it, I have to go back to Brazil, blah, blah, this and that. I said, no, they said I can do it. I wrote him an email, and he's like, what? So I went and competed after 2 years of doing jiu-jitsu in ADCC's 2005, representing as a wrestler, but, loving jiu-jitsu. I took jiu-jitsu in from the very beginning. I feel like, that's, jiu-jitsu and wrestling are one and the same to me, just different rules on the day. And so I represent all grappling. There was a time, 2005, 2006, where I would consider myself a wrestler, but now, this is our game. Jiu-jitsu is our game. I'm a jiu-jitsu player, and I can't wait to showcase it. So, no pressure. I'm having fun, but I'm gonna win. That's my plan.
I'm kind of in the same boat as you, right? There's very little, if any, pressure at all on my shoulders at this point. I'm used to guys throwing bare knuckles at my face the last few fights. So being able to get back in here and just grapple, and to me, this is so much fun. Like I said earlier, I missed this. I was craving that grappling and the American wrestling, even, just going back to my roots. So. No, I don't feel any pressure here. This is, the weight cut is pretty much nothing. Got a great opponent here with some buddies. This is a nice, beautiful country. I get to take a little vacation on and get to sightsee after. So, no, man, I'm excited to do this.
One question for Viviana. 18 years ago, you lost to Uriah. Do you think this is your redemption? Since you guys are older, I know both of you guys have kids. I remember from one FC when you had your kid. I remember Uriah. In fact, Island was here when he told me that he's having a kid. Now you guys are 18 years later. Do you think this is redemption for the loss? Is it in your mind, this is your revenge this time around?
No, I don't believe it like, I have revenge now. I don't think like that. But I want to feel how I am right now. Roger helped me grow in my game, and I improved myself so much, you know what I mean? And Jiu-Jitsu is something I always had with me, and I trained more wrestling. I trained with the best Olympic champion in Canada. In wrestling, I grew my wrestling, and my Jiu-Jitsu, for me, facing Roger Federer for me is like, I'm so happy to be here, enjoy coming here. Favor for me is another dream come true. You know what I mean? Like I never think this will happen, and it's happening right now. I think, wow, thank you, God, thank Allah for making the opportunity come true.
He took me down right away. He took me down to the single leg and took my back right off the bat. So his wrestling's approved.
At that time I don't have West, I have pure Jiu-Jitsu. But that's how I want to see how I am right now. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Please hold your hands up if you have any questions. We're going up over here to this side.
Hello, I'm Karine from Medellin, Korea, and I have a question for Carrozino. So your opponent fought ADXC 3 and come from a victory by submission I'd like to know if you have any pressure because it's your debut and how you imagine winning this fight.
So no pressure, any pressure. That's something I always have been doing. It's like ride a bike when the kid learn. So I have been doing jiu-jitsu since a kid and also wrestling. I was wrestling national team. So for this fight, I think it's going to happen a lot of takedowns. It's going to be more standing fight. Hiram also is a great athlete. He fought against Felipe Andrew, another great athlete. And yeah, feel confident, feel great, and let's see on Friday.
Thank you.
Hello, Kendall Rusing here, and I have a question for Highland Gracie. It's funny that Karini just asked the question about the pressure because I was going to ask you, after that amazing win, you had a submission over Felipe Andrew at ADXC, you're surrounded by your family, and a lot of great energy in that event. Now coming here to the heartbeat of grappling right in Abu Dhabi, do you feel a lot of pressure after an event, a performance like that, now coming in and returning to the cage? How does that feel for you?
I think that I'm very lucky because, I mean, who had pressure is that guy sitting right there, hands in the past generations. They did the hard work. They were the ones who, that put the name on the line and really paved the way. I mean, there's nothing else to prove. My family, they have done what was needed to be done for jiu-jitsu, for the spread of jiu-jitsu, and for the legacy of the family. So I feel that what I'm doing is a bonus, is extra. So I'm going to have to prove why he changed my diapers. He's jealous that my grandma thinks that I'm the favorite. So we have this fight now. So, he did the hard work, right? He and my dad and my uncles and my grandfather, they had pressure. They had real pressure, right? This is, I mean, of course, everybody wants to perform well and push, but I get to enjoy this a lot more than I guess they did. So I'm enjoying the fruits that they planted, right? The tree that they planted. So yeah, and I mean the pressure is always good, push to perform better. And Carlosino again is an incredible athlete, has won amazing championships. I really appreciate his stand-up game, right? So I'm looking forward to sharing the match with him, sharing the octagon. So I'm very excited.
Hello. What steps is the organization taken to develop talented farmers?
I'll take that one. So it's a great question what ADXC is doing to develop the grapplers in the organization. And we have an excellent matchmaker, Mr. Mohammed Al-Hussaini, who is extremely knowledgeable about the world of grappling, jiu-jitsu, and mixed martial arts. And of course, there is a very large talent pool to draw from. I mean, you can just look at the diversity of the competitors that we have, not just here on the stage, but on the events on Friday night and the events that we've had in the past. Every event in ADXC is well represented by multiple nationalities, grapplers from different styles of grappling and jiu-jitsu. Of course, while there is opportunities for athletes from the world of MMA, grappling and jiu-jitsu to compete here as well, a big focus is, of course, the opportunity for local Emirati athletes to compete as well. The work that Abu Dhabi has done in implementing jiu-jitsu into physical education in schools, police and military, has produced some amazing world-class competitors. The work that was started 10, 15 years ago is now resulting in 20-year-old, 21, 22-year-old world-class black belts who have won important world titles. And you have seen these athletes, and you will continue to see these athletes featured here on ADXC. So to answer your question, ADXC, well, we scour the world for the best athletes from every style, and if we think that they have what it takes to compete here on ADXC, then they can expect to hear a call from us.
Hi, hello. Yeah. Marcos, what was the hardest opponent that you've ever fought in the entire season?
Sorry, say again.
what was the hardest opponent that you've ever fought the entire season?
It's hard to say. I think there's a couple athletes. It's been hard fight, There's everybody working very hard for the title, for the ranking from ATP. It's hard to say. It's very hard to say, but most of them is very tough guys. Yeah, 100%.
Hi, Heather Racing again. I have a question for Chad Mendez. Can you talk a little bit about your experience with grappling? I know most fans are really familiar with your MMA experience. I mean, you're a collegiate wrestler, but for a lot of jiu-jitsu fans, this might be our first time seeing you in a grappling competition if we're not super familiar with your history. Can you let us know a little bit about your background and how you're feeling with your specific pedigree coming into Friday's match?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the wrestling's been my bread and butter my whole life, all the way through college, competing in the NCAA tournaments multiple times. But as far as jiu-jitsu goes, I mean, training with this beast every single day, to me, that's like some of the best training and preparation I can get anywhere in the world. And I've been grappling with him since before I even started my fight career. So, we started summers during wrestling camps doing jiu-jitsu. I've competed a few times. I've won a grappler's quest at an open weight, and I just beat Jeff Glover in one of the competitions there in Oregon. There was one of them, the quintet I competed in also. So I've dabbled a little bit, but yeah, obviously wrestling's been my background from day one. So yeah, I'm excited to test myself against somebody, that has been doing jiu-jitsu his whole life again, and getting to step in there and just see where I stand with it. And I feel extremely confident with my wrestling. I can push the pace on anyone, pretty much any size that I train with in our gym. I feel confident in my strength, my athleticism there, and that alone I think is something that anybody even in the jiu-jitsu world has a hard time dealing with. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'm excited to compete.
Make sure you hold your hands up nice and high so our team can see you and bring the microphone around. We've got a couple hands here again.
This message is for Mr. Chad Mendez. Kendall kind of took a little bit of the question I was going to ask you, but I was going to ask, what's your game plan? What's your strategy going into this match? Are you going to pull guard? Are you going to wrestle? You come from probably one of the most diverse backgrounds on this stage. You just had a bare knuckle fight. You wrestled in college and in high school. You have jiu-jitsu background. I don't think I've seen you compete in the gi, but I'm sure you're versed in it. So you have a wide range of skills to work with. What's going to be your strategy? Like I said, can we expect you to pull guard? And after your match, are you going to have any call-outs against anybody?
I'll definitely not be pulling guard. My game plan is to push the pace. My game plan is to be heavy, implement that wrestling will, and whether it's on the ground or on our feet, just use my strength, my athleticism. Don't want to give away what we've been working on as far as submissions, but I feel good, man. Like I said, I've been training with Uriah and the rest of the Keep Alpha Male guys, so we got some good stuff in the works, but I don't know, do you want to grapple after this?
Well, are we going to see, that's what I was kind of getting at, is are we going to see a potential match between you and I there if you win? Provided you win and I win.
Just so everybody knows, if you're wondering who's speaking right now, it's one of our main card competitors, Mr. ADXC, who's going to be fighting on Friday night. You're already thinking about ADXC 6, aren't you, AJ?
Always. I think what they're doing with ADXC is absolutely incredible. You guys are putting on quite an experience for all these guys. I did have a message for Mr. Tariq, if you would be willing to answer, is what are your plans? Where do you see ADXC going, right? We have the Olympics going on this weekend. Many can consider this the Olympic event of jiu-jitsu in such a grand stage and such a wonderful presentation. All these amazing competitors from all over the world. Where do you see AJP and ADXC taking this event?
I think it's a good question. As you see, there's no limit for that one. We hope we can reach. I don't want to say the similar of the UFC or the one, but our goal after the future will reach that point. We are the team working very hard for this year and for the next year. We have good plan for the next year after the October. The team will announce the future plan.
This is actually something interesting to mention as well, that the organization ADXC, like we said, it started less than 1 year ago. This is event number 5. We should see at least one more event before the end of the year. It's important to note as well that, as mentioned, the vision for the future ADXC 2025 season and beyond. But one thing that you will see, anybody who came in through the entrance hall probably would have noticed it in the glass case, is a very large and beautiful ADXC title belt. Now, those titles right now, they're there as a reminder for the future. Our athletes are competing for something much bigger than just the match on Friday night, because the opportunity to enter into the ranking, into the debate as to who challenges for the title, which we will start awarding in 2025, it's there, it's real. The ADXC, we have a plan for the future, and the titles are a very important part of that. And any athlete who competes here on Friday night, whether in the main event or anywhere else in the card, with their performances, they have the opportunity to enter into the title equation. So please pay close attention to our plans for the future. Question here? Check. 1 second, we have a team coming.
Okay, can I ask a question while you wait?
With 1 second, please.
Hello. Afif from Star. I have a question for Max Lindblom and Pedro. I'm just, for both of you guys, how do you see this match playing out? I know we have pretty similar games, Spider Guard and everything, but please give me some information on how this plan is going to go.
I think this match has great potential to become a really good fight. Obviously, I'm not going to give away anything I've been working on before the fight. At the same time, it has the potential to be a really boring fight. Our styles can match up really good, and they can match up really bad. But I'm here to fight. I hope Pedro is here to fight as well. So, yeah, let's see.
I'm going to give away my strategy. I'm going to pull half guard Max, so watch out for that. No, I think this fight is actually going to be really good. I don't think it's going to be a boring match because of the structure. So we have 5 rounds, there's no points. So I don't think any of us will be afraid of getting swept, you know. So we're both good on top and bottom. Our games are similar, but we both fight top or bottom. So I don't think he'll have a problem trying to pass my guard. I won't have a problem trying to pass his guard. So it will definitely be a good match.
I think the rule set is a big thing of making this fight exciting. Before we fought in IGF and Grand Slam, it's a little bit different with the points. You have to be more tactical. With this rule set, you don't really have to. So I think you're going to see both of us chasing the submissions, and I guess that's what you want to see. So potentially, as I said before, it can become a really good fight.
Yeah, just an explanation as well. Both Max and Pedro mentioned a little bit about the rules. If you haven't seen ADXC before, but if you've maybe watched grappling or jiu-jitsu in the past, this is a very different format. It's rounds of 3-minute rounds for the undercard and main card matches, and 5 3-minute rounds for the co-main and main events. No points. There's no scoreboard. These guys have an opportunity to open their games and to really look for the submission. And the short rounds as well mean that they can risk a lot, and they have the opportunity to reset, 1-minute break, talk about strategy with their coaches, and then come back in. So it's almost like watching multiple matches in the space of what would be one match in any other federation. So a little bit different. It's how we do things here at ADXC. If you have experience watching MMA, it's much more similar, and hopefully we think it's a recipe for excitement.
questions for Diego. I respect that very much. That you took the match, and I heard that after you heard that you took the match, you got into straight to the airport, went to the airplane, came in. So do you think the jet lag would have an effect on you being in Abu Dhabi? And the fact that you took the fight last minute, would that affect the outcome?
I think it's not going to be a factor. I just have a competition in Russia for the belt in a 100 men. I was the champ there. Just fortunately lost my belt there 2 weeks ago. I got to America. I trained for 2 days and then got a call for. I've been training for 6 months for this belt fight, and then I should put me good condition. I don't eat too much, so I'm feel strong. And about the jag leg, it's not gonna make a difference. And also because I'm born in Fortaleza, but I love Jiu-Jitsu. I got my black belt in Manaus. So I train with Fabiano Fernandes when we were kids in the garage and stuff like that. So I think he's gonna be good, like a Brazil style, like a lot of swag, like a pitbull style, attack. That's it. It's only 15 minutes, so I was prepared to fight for 30 minutes for my next fight. So I'm super excited to share this octagon ring in Abu Dhabi with the legend, Chad Mendes.
Speaking of Chad Mendes, you earlier when we talked to I said, Rio, I have to go to the hotel, I'm suffering from jet lag, I would like to sleep, I don't want to interview. But does that affect you as well as the fact that Kevin Lee dropped out, so we got Diego instead? Does changing the opponent change the strategy for you? Does it, of course it bothers you, but I'm still going to ask you, did it bother you that it was changed, the opponent was changed?
No, not at all. Honestly, I think I only found out about this maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago at the latest, so I didn't have a ton of time to prepare for anybody, and we didn't really even know who the exact opponent was because it changed 3 times. So, no, it doesn't bother me. Like I said, I feel confident getting on the mat with anybody in our gym, any size. And like I said earlier, there's no pressure here. I'm having fun. This is something I absolutely love to do. So, yeah, I'm tired though. We flew in last night, got in late last night. It's the middle of the night where I'm from, so I am excited to go back and get some sleep for sure. But I'll be fine by fight day.
Oh, we have one here first. Then next day.
سؤالي بطل العالم الجيتسيو فيبيانو البرازيلي رحب فيه موشن في دولة الإمارات إمارة حدود أبو ظبي. كيف شاف مدينة أبو ظبي؟ شو الأجواء الجميلة اللي لاحظها في هذه المدينة الجميلة، خصوصا أبو ظبي صورت اليوم عاصمة للعبة الجيتسيو. سؤالي يس
Sorry, I think we had a problem with this translation. Could you ask the question one more time, please?
Yes. كيف شاف مدينة أبو ظبي خصوصا اليوم أبو ظبي صارت عاصمة للعبة الجيتسو والعالم كله يتابع هذه اللعبة من خلال هذه العاصمة الحديثة.
Well, I think Abu Dhabi is a beautiful place and very hot, like in the Amazon jungle. I'm from there. It was very interesting. The heat is so good. I like the heat. I like the heat. And about the Jiu-Jitsu, I'm very happy for Jiu-Jitsu, the capital for Jiu-Jitsu, because same as I said in the beginning, if Jiu-Jitsu changed my life, it changed the life of many people. Many people. I grow like Faber have to go fight because he had to fight because he had $10,000 in the competition. For me, I'm not. For me, I fight because I have to feed myself. I train Jiu-Jitsu for competition because I have to compare. That's the only way I get food. That was I get food is I win my medal and I bring my medal. I show for the magazine and I look for my response and say, listen, I win the competition. And the guy responds to me. That morning I get it, I take care of myself. Like I have different ways to do Jiu-Jitsu. I do Jiu-Jitsu because I love. And Jiu-Jitsu helped me change the way I see and change everything. Jiu-Jitsu is my love. Without Jiu-Jitsu, I don't know what I will do. And I believe that Jiu-Jitsu will change a lot of people. And the big here is made for the people, for the country.
Jairo aqui. Jairo, quais são as suas expectativas para o Sarkozy, sabendo que ele é um atleta que derruba muito bem e é muito difícil derrubar ele?
Eu acho que a gente vai trocar bastante em pé. O objetivo é tentar derrubar e não ser derrubado. Mas assim, tudo pode acontecer. Eu jamais vou falar como fazer isso e aquilo, porque língua da boca debaixo do rabo. Então, quero que eles traduzirem isso aí agora. Mas, então, vai ser uma luta boa, com certeza. Eu admiro muito, porque hoje é muito raro ver as pessoas jogando em pé. Né? Então, quando a gente vê um atleta no nível dele, jogando em pé em alto nível, é bonito de ver. Né? Então, eu admiro muito a parte em pé dele, tanto no chão também. Então, tenho certeza que, com certeza, vai ter parte em pé na luta. Sim.
Raise your hand nice and high so we can see you when you talk, please.
Hello, Kendall Rusi again. Mike Problems. I have a question for Diego. The ADXC team, we were talking about how you and Chad have quite a few similarities in your career. You guys both have, famous fights with people like Conor McGregor and other big stars in the UFC. We were wondering if you feel like you are the favorite or if you are the underdog in this matchup.
I like to be the underdog. There ways just go out there and surprise everybody. I've been fighting Russians for 5 years. Every time I go down there, they want to kill me. So I go down there and make it become a champion, so they don't like that. So it's kind of like I have experience to come over here. Like I say, guys, no pressure. I just feel super excited to be here in Dubai for Brazil and, represent the Jiu-Jitsu and fight against a guy like Chad Benz, big name in America. For me, just another day in the office, so it's going to be super exciting. No pressure at all. Thank you.
This message is for Hiram and actually everybody else on the co-main and main event. Hiram, you're as closest to the source of jiu-jitsu as you can possibly get being one of the Gracie members. So you've seen jiu-jitsu in a lot of different rule sets and yourself have competed in many different rule sets. I'm curious to know, and even you, Viviano, Uriah, you've competed in the cage before, is to know Max yourself as well, being at a high level, is what do you think about this rule set being three-minute rounds for, I think for my match, I'm not sure, I think maybe 5 rounds for your guys as well, but being more like closer to that UFC style, MMA style, where it's a decision only. What do you think about the rules and the format, and how do you think this is going to pair up with your skill set?
I think they did a great job with the rule set because you get the best of both worlds, right? So, I mean, the octagon, the match doesn't stop. Usually in jiu-jitsu, you go out of bounds, reset, so there's no resetting then, right? And about the shorter time, you got to act. And taking out the points, I think it was a great move because then there's a lot of things in traditional competition where you have to, sometimes you fall, have to give your back to avoid points or a takedown or something like that. In this case, you don't, right? So I think that this is a great combination of, inspiring from MMA and then introduced into jiu-jitsu, the rule set and the way you score. So it's exciting. I think it's got the best of both worlds and the gi. So yeah, can't get any better than that.
I've done a handful of competitions in jiu-jitsu. I don't think one of them have had the same rule set, which is kind of frustrating sometimes, but also allows me just to focus on just trying to find submissions. And I've lost matches because of that. I don't take time to study the rule set. This is very basic and it makes a lot of sense. One thing that I don't like for me is, and probably for Chad, guys that have embraced the grind we call it wrestling, is I like to try to break guys. So a longer stint of time, put pressure on, and then break them. It's a willpower, etc. I'm fine with it not being here for this one because I don't think Viviano is necessarily a breakable guy, and that's a compliment. I feel like we're similar in that regard. I like that it's going to force us to be extremely technical, you know, because I want to showcase my technical side. I've played a lot of anti-jiu-jitsu matches, but I've got a great jiu-jitsu game, and I'm excited to show it. And, you know, for guys like us, you know, a minute rest with 3 minutes going hard, that's a long time to rest. We're world-class athletes that have done this your whole life. So you're going to get to see technical, aggressive grappling, and I think that's amazing.
Uriah just said it perfectly, you know, the rules and the rounds here at ADXC. These are 3-minute rounds. There's no time to waste. There's absolutely no stalling tolerated by our referees. They are right on top of the action, making people work. And the 3-minute rounds as well, it's a sprint. Whereas maybe in other organizations, you'll see a marathon. And a marathon is not always the most exciting thing to watch. But a sprint, everybody wants to see that. It's always good. ADXC, we always see something different. These guys, you know, they come out fast, they come out hard, and they have 3 minutes to work, 1 minute break, like Uriah said, and then they back at it again. It's always a lot of fun. We have a hand up here in the back?
Yes.
Here we go. Mr. Ramani.
Yeah. Hey guys, why all of you very nice, all respectful. I respect all of you guys, but you guys come to fight, you know? It's my shit, you know? In the cage, it's not like that. Not nice, brotherly, no. Just you come to smash each other, right? That's why we get paid. What do you think, guys?
We're going to get a chance to smash each other tomorrow. So, and we're going to try to. I've given a lot of big hugs and kind words to people, and then I've split their faces open and knocked them out or submitted them. So,
big hug after the smash is nice.
It's a great point, and you're going to get that tomorrow. Everybody should tune in for that part of it. Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
So who's talking is actually Puya Ramani, who will compete here on Friday nights. And Puya competed here in ADXC 2, I believe, put on one of the best wrestling displays we ever saw on ADXC against a tough American wrestler with very good credentials. From Iran, now based in Dubai. Very excited to see Mr. Ramani back.
What are you going to do to your opponent?
Yeah, what do I have to say to him? What do I have to say?
What do you have to say to your opponent?
You know, most of people here, they know me in Abu Dhabi, Dubai. I live here, and they know anyone in front of me, I'm going to smash. I don't let anyone go. I'm giving you a chance.
Can't wait to see tomorrow. That's probably the last guy I would ever want to fight, honestly. That guy was born to be a warrior. Lucky we have him here at ADXC. Any more questions? Yes, sir.
Kevin Lee was supposed to be on this card. Any plans to bring him back to a future ADXC event?
That is a great question. The door is always open. You know, we work with athletes from many different organizations, many different backgrounds. The door is always open. Unfortunately, this time he wasn't available to come. He had to pull out short notice. But who knows? Maybe that match will happen later this year or next.
And then question for Chad Money Mendez. Obviously, he was supposed to be the original opponent. Didn't have a lot of time to prepare for this event. Does anything change at all with the new opponent and your preparation, or same game plan going into this?
What's up, by the way?
Great to see you.
Yeah. I think the same. I mean, there might be some submission tactics that we might change up a little bit, but honestly, it's the same goal. When I get in there, I'm going to use my grappling, my wrestling, my athleticism, and put on a show. I mean, I don't think much changes, no.
And I guess this is an open-ended question for these MMA guys, but what excites you about this rule set for grappling for this type of style in this tournament?
I feel like it's so similar to the fights that it's, you know, it's something that's easy for us to think about and remember when they're competing, but I don't know, man, it's the way that it's formatted. You have no choice but to make it exciting. That's what I like.
3 minutes for 3 minutes really almost nothing. Like 3 minutes or you do 5 minutes, and jiu-jitsu do 10 minutes, and 3 minutes is like it goes so quick. And going to break, like I feel take forever, you know what I mean? But I'll be ready, I'll be happy. Thank favor, thank everybody for coming, and I was gonna give a show tomorrow for everybody.
Any more questions? If not,
Hello.
yes, yes.
Hi. This is Jay, and I have this one for Hiram Gracie. You had a great submission over Felipe Andrew in ADXC 3, and he's a really tough opponent. So how are you planning to beat Marcus? He's the #1 ranked heavyweight in ADXC this time around.
The result of the match, we have no control over. All I have control is how much effort I put in my training and the match itself. So, you know, I hope that I do really well, but I'll never say that I'm going to tap him this way or that way, or that the match is going to go a certain way, because as we saw on my last match, you know, most people were expecting him to tap me. He even said it, and it didn't go that way. So, you know, anything can happen. So I control how much effort I put, and I'm going to put all of it.
Thank you.
Really well played, mate. Absolutely spectacular submission that Hiram fought in his last match. And if I'm not mistaken, Hiram, somebody showed you this technique just a few minutes before your match when you fought in Brazil. Is that correct?
It is correct. That's true. He's right there. 5 minutes before the match, he called me on hands on my hand. He called me aside, and he showed me the most random, for that time, clock choke, right? And of course, I respect him very much. But inside, I was thinking, why is he showing me this? And I learned it with all the respect. And then on the 4th round, we get into the position, and we fall right in the position for the clock choke, and I did the move that he taught me, right? So yeah, 5 minutes before.
This goes to show you, see, Enzo, not just a pioneer of jiu-jitsu, but still right on top of the game, able to coach his family member to victory at ADXC. Hopefully we'll see something special this weekend.
5 minutes before, I'm going to ask him a lot of questions.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, we got here at the back.
Hello. As an MMA fan, we used to see two guys trying to kill each other in the cage. But since the beginning of the conference, I've been watching two guys complimenting and flirting with each other. So should we expect that same case in the cage?
If you're talking about me, check the scoreboards. I go for the kill when it's time to compete. I usually say hi to my mom and smile on the way out, and then it's war. So, you know, like I said, I respect everyone in this sport, but I'm coming to win. And I know that Viviano, I called it Bobbiano. I watched the video 18 years ago, and you know, we've got to watch each other from afar, and competing against another person for me is not only a test, but it's fun. And you know, I've got pride, and I've got an ego, and I want to win. And I think, you know, we're going to both be out there for blood, or lack of, when you're choking someone, hopefully.
For me, the thing is, I compete for many years, right? I all my life compete, and face somebody else, my friend over there, I don't really think, like, I respect anybody, doesn't matter who you are, what kind of call you are, I respect you. But the moment you come to compete with me, the time you beginning is a different situation. I fight to finish, I fight to win. That's the way I fight all my life.
And you know, we don't need to hear trash talk here at ADXC, because ultimately jiu-jitsu, it's a sport, and what we want to see is we want to see the martial arts values of jiu-jitsu well represented. That's what ADXC is about. It's about honor, it's about respect, it's about discipline, and it's about all the positive benefits that come from jiu-jitsu. And these guys, they're some of the best representatives of that you will see, but they're also very good competitors, and when it comes to the action on Friday night, these guys, they leave that outside the cage for 15 minutes, and we really get to see them go at it.
One more question, please. We have seen in the older version of ADXC, we haven't seen much of cage wrestling. So would we see that as we have like two UFC veterans?
That's actually a great question. It's true. The cage is a tool as much as it is an obstacle. And I feel maybe some of the MMA guys would like to speak about the fact that the cage is a useful addition to this environment.
Well, it's part of our practice in the gym to train off the cage. But for me, I like to keep the action going. There's some things that you can do off the cage that make you unique, absolutely, and maybe we're a little more well-versed than that. But the goal for me is to keep the action going and get a submission. That's why, I was chosen to be on this card because I'm a finisher. And I think that's why Viviano was chosen, and Chad, and everyone here today. We'll use what we can take, but we're trying to go for the finish.
Hey, to the main events, which fight are you most excited to see in ADXC fight?
Which matches are they excited to watch?
Yeah, the main events.
Oh, okay, that's a good question. Which matches are you guys excited to see on the show?
For me, obviously, those that don't know the history, I've got a history with Viviano, but I've known Chad since he was in high school. I recruited him when I was a college wrestling coach, and then we trained together as, wrestling instructors at camps, and I convinced him when he's done with college to come join me. So I'm excited for anything this guy's involved in, and he's a gamer, so that's the match. And his opponent, I've been a fan of his for a very long time. Always very respectful, and a guy that has a lot of grit and a lot of danger. He's a dangerous guy always. So those two guys I'm very excited for.
Viviano, how about you?
About me, I will keep my everyone. I like to watch everybody. I hope in my room I have a television that I can watch everybody. Because I like to watch everyone compete. I hold my life when I go compete. I go for the competition, the television is there. I can catch everybody, especially in the blue corner, right? Especially I'm in the blue corner. I'm going for you, right?
All right, guys, I think this is a good time to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here today.
I just want to say a few words.
Yes, sir, please.
I know everybody, I'll make it quick, but I just want to use the opportunity that we have the mic here. And I'm not better than anyone. I just want to give this message, especially to young people at home. Recently, this past few years, a lot of people have been romanticizing the use of drugs and all types of drugs. And I just want to share a bit of the other side of the same coin, right? Especially with weed. If you smoke weed from the ages of 14 to your early 20s, you're 6 times more likely to trigger schizophrenia. 6 times more likely. And other psychotic disorders as well. So I think that it's important to share that. And alcohol as well, is always the gateway drug for everything else. A lot of times people say that, I drink, but I'll never do that. And clinical studies show that you're twice more likely to use other drugs when you're under the influence of alcohol. There's no amount of alcohol that's beneficial for you. So for young people at home, don't use drugs. There's nothing good that can come from it. Dive head first into the sport. And remember that kids, they're very bad at learning, but they're incredible imitators. So they will mimic whatever they're seeing from their parents, from the people that they see as role models. So just a message for everyone. Thank you.
I want to say hi to everybody in Canada. I know it's late, it's morning time there. It's like maybe 3 p.m., 3 a.m. And people watch me, say hi for me. Thank you everybody in Canada, Vancouver, and Langley there, and Brazilian there. Thank you guys. And we'll keep looking to fight for you guys tomorrow, everybody here, and I'll give us best.
Well, like I said, thank you for joining us today, and thank you to our sponsors and partners. Our technical partner, AJP Tour, event promoter, Catchers Communication and Events, Abu Dhabi Sports TV, ADCB, Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank, Experience Abu Dhabi, UAE JJ Fitness, Abu Dhabi Martial Arts Academy, and International Vision Travel. A reminder that the event on Friday night is live streamed available on tx7.com via pay-per-view. Go to the website for more details, and we will see you all Friday. Thank you for coming. face-off photos here on the stage, so please don't go anywhere. We'll call you up one by one. Thank you. So forward to the stage first, we're going to get some quick face-off photos here in the center. Can I call up please Uriah Faber and Juliano Fernandez? Gentlemen, your main event, Uriah Faber versus Viviano Fernandez. Next to the stage, please, Hiram Gracie and Marcus Carlosino. Next up to the stage, please, co-main event, Chad Mendes and Diego Malanda. That is our co-main event, no-gi match, grappling match. Next up, co-main event, jiu-jitsu match, Pedro Ramario and Max Lindblad. And that's it for our press conference here at ADXC 5. Thank you very much for coming and watching online. We'll see you guys Friday night.